Take their chances trying to beat a train across the tracks.
News 8's Joe LaFurgey joins us now with a look at this dangerous game and why playing it could kill you.
Well, Sean, Rick, it's easy to tell you that car-train accidents kill on an average of 500 people every year in the United States. It's also easy to tell you about the legal penalties for crossing in front of an approaching train. But seeing is believing. We're going to show you what can happen when a train hits a car. After seeing this report, chances are you'll think twice before making a dangerous decision.
You're late for work. The kids are screaming in the back seat. You just want to get to where you're going. You come to a train crossing, the bell sounds, the lights are flashing. Do you cross it? Is it worth the risk? It's a race that's claimed the lives of 137 people in Michigan since 1990. Some tried to beat an approaching train. Others simply didn't heed the warning lights, crossing gates, or stop signs. Few people walk away from a car-train collision. Those that do count their blessings every day.
I can show people what it really causes to be hit by a train.
Linda Carroll is one of those survivors. She and her son Leighton were crossing the tracks at 68th near Division in Cutlerville last September. They were on their way to pick up decorations for Leighton's first birthday party. Linda never saw the warning lights, never saw the train coming. The impact crumpled the side of her car. Thanks to a car seat, Leighton survived with a few minor bumps and bruises. He's doing fine. His mother wasn't as fortunate.
Linda spent months in a coma. The base of her skull was shattered. Her voice remains raspy today because of the tubes doctors had to put down her throat to help her breathe. And her memory was wiped out. She can't remember the accident. She can't remember anything 2 months prior to the accident.
After months of rehabilitation, Linda's beginning to put her life back together.
I feel fortunate for myself and my son because we're both alive, and all the accidents I've ever heard about, everybody's dead, you know, or a lot of people die, so, you know, I thank God that we're both alive.
But accidents, like the one Linda was in, can be avoided. It takes public awareness. So 24-hour News 8 has teamed up with the Grand Rapids Eastern Railroad to show just how dangerous car-train accidents can be. We bought a car, placed it on the tracks, and rammed it with 277,000 pounds of rolling steel. You'll see the crash from the track, the air from inside the car, and inside the train.
There's not really any impact feeling up here other than a bad feeling that you hit a car.
Tomorrow night, more on our train crash. We'll talk to the other drivers involved, the ones that have very little control over the situation. They, of course, the train engineers.
Man,
that was incredible.
Yeah.
I know you were there when all of that happened. It had to be pretty impressive to be there to see.
It was scary. Even though you knew nobody was in that car and this was all set up, the sound that crash makes and the view from far away is just sickening, really.
Hopefully people seeing at home will take it into account
the idea.
next time.
Thanks, Joe.
Sure.
Thanks, Joe. 177,000-pound locomotive. It's no surprise who wins this race.
Not at all, but people take a chance trying to beat the train every single day. News 8's Joe LaFurgey is here now with the conclusion of his special report. It's a race you just can't win.
Well, Thomas, Sue, tonight we put you in the driver's seat as a locomotive bears down on a car sitting on the tracks. If it happens to you, there's little chance for escape, little chance for survival.
It's the scheduled morning run from Grand Rapids to Lowell. Grand Rapids Eastern engineer Scott Knight is at the controls of the engine. As the train heads east through Grand Rapids, the daily game of dodge the train begins.
Black one's gonna go.
With less than 10 seconds before the train reaches the crossing, the driver of the black truck races across. If that driver ended up stuck on the tracks, there's little chance Knight would be able to stop the engine in time to avoid a collision. Every day, drivers play this game of chicken with Knight's train. Over the years, he's figured out which drivers will take the dare.
Just by the way they're coming up to the crossing, if they're slowing down, you're going to stop, but people that are just speeding right up coming at you, you know they're going.
If you scale down the size of a train in the average car, it'd be like putting this pop can up against one of our news units. The results are a crushing reminder of what happens in an actual car-train accident.
But the best way to describe what happens is to show you an actual train wreck. So we bought an old car. The Grand Rapids Eastern Railroad provided the locomotive. 3 victims, 2 adults and 1 child, are placed in the car. They're belted in. 2 cameras mounted inside the car will record the impact. Several others are placed around the tracks and on the train. Veteran engineer Orville Lanning is at the controls of the engine. The train begins to pick up speed. As it rounds the bend, an engineer's worst nightmare comes into view.
Car on the tracks, Tracy. You gonna get off?
The intensity of the crash is frightening. The impact sends glass from the car's windshield flying through the air. The jolt knocks out one of our cameras inside the car. The other picks up the terrifying sight and sound of the car being shoved down the tracks. The speed at impact was just 25 miles an hour, yet it took the train over 1/10 of a mile to stop.
Call 911.
Kent County Sheriff's Department paramedic Don Munn examined our simulated victims.
The driver and the backseat passenger would probably not have made it. The only one that may have made it would have been the front seat passenger here. If the window had been here, it's very possible she would have broken the window out with her head. She may have sustained cervical spine injuries just upon impact.
Of course, this crash was staged for the cameras, but engineers like Orville Manning know all too well the next time may be the real thing. He hopes motorists get the message.
We cannot stop. We cannot swerve out of their way. If they'd only just stop, look, and listen.
We'd like to thank the Grand Rapids Eastern Railroad, the Kent County Sheriff's Department and Road Commission, and the Lowell Area Fire Department for all their help in putting this series together.
Now, how can he tell, really, what would have happened to those dummies?
He has been to enough accident scenes, and he's seen enough of these. He's also working in accident reconstruction, and once you see enough of them, you can tell what kind of damage is done to these bodies.
And they have to deal with this on a regular basis.
Unfortunately, they do.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Joe.
Joe.
Wow.